On behalf of Catholic Charities, I would like to welcome you to the 17th Annual St. Nicholas Gala. I'm Mary Woods, the voice of the Archbishop's Hour, Catholic Radio. I've spent many hours interviewing the staff and clients of Catholic Charities, and so I have a first-hand view into the great work of Catholic Charities. This has been a most unique year for all of us. As we enter into a season of Thanksgiving and the holiday season of giving, we are grateful that you joined us for our virtual gala tonight. We will share an hour of celebration of our service to the community, an opportunity to raise much-needed funding to support the programs and services of Catholic Charities, have fun bidding on some very fabulous auction items, and generally having fun. Our goal for tonight is to raise $150,000, and we can't do it without your help. The St. Nicholas Ball has traditionally been our biggest fundraising event of the year, providing vital support to all our programs. First, I'd like to go over some housekeeping items. If you find yourself challenged using the technology, there is help available. Simply call 575-323-0690. I'll repeat, 575-323-0690. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Our Lady of the Annunciation Catholic Church, for making this evening possible. We have guests from all around the country tonight, thanks to our table captains. They are supporters who have sponsored an online table of their friends and family. As your table members donate through your virtual table fundraiser, we will be able to see which tables are closest to meeting their fundraising goals. Thank you so much to our table captains who advocate for Catholic Charities in their own communities. To view our auction items, simply click the auction button on our St. Nicholas Virtual Gala homepage, ccasfnm.org/SNB. It's open until Monday, so keep an eye on those items you've made bids on. I'll be popping in and out through the gala, but for now, I'd like to introduce the 2020 Catholic Charities Board Chair, Lisa Trujillo.
Welcome to the 2020 St. Nicholas Virtual Gala for Catholic Charities. My name is Lisa Trujillo, and it's been my privilege to serve on the Board of Directors of Catholic Charities for the past 6 years, and it's been my honor to serve as Board Chair for the past year. I don't have to tell you, 2020 has been a challenging year for all of us, but especially for those served by Catholic Charities. Whether individuals or families have been facing homelessness or food insecurity or just having very basic needs met, Catholic Charities has been there to support them and get them through this very difficult year. I'd like to thank my fellow board members who are with us tonight for their devotion and dedication to the mission of Catholic Charities, to honoring human dignity and putting our faith into action to improve the lives of those we serve. I'd also like to thank tonight our Gala presenting sponsor, Our Lady of Annunciation Catholic Church, and to our two MER sponsors, Presbyterian Healthcare Services and Chelsea Investment Corporation. Without them, tonight would not be possible. I'd also like to thank the many auction item donors. We have a wonderful online auction for you tonight, and it is thanks to those individuals that have come through with just some unique and beautiful items for you to bid on. So please be generous with Catholic Charities tonight and support all of those in our community that need our help. We hope you have a wonderful evening, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you the Chief Executive Officer of Catholic Charities, Jim Gannon.
March looked like insanity, I guess, is the first word that comes to mind. What to do, how to do it. I mean, we're an organization that up until last spring or late winter, we always thought of ourselves as a point of person-to-person contact. If an essential function that was overwhelming us came up, we called upon hundreds of volunteers, community affiliates that we work with, collaborators, bringing together people to solve problems. And that whole strategy was to all of a sudden obsolete. You know, we had to get into a whole mode of rethinking how we could do things. How could we continue to help folks? It really disrupted Catholic Charities for a period. And luckily, you know, coming together as a team, individuals pioneered new ideas, came up with new solutions, remembering the dignity of the individual. That's primary. It's the underlying part of Catholic Charities is that the person we're serving has inherent dignity to them always. It can never be taken from them regardless of the conditions that they find themselves in. The goals of, I think the goals are journeying to learn from this and harness the tools that have been effective for us to further help us. One of the things is how do we create economic development that follows Catholic social teachings or just common sense social teachings that say, how are we going to provide that someone can earn enough money to live in dignity, to break the cycle of poverty for themselves, but also for the next generation. In the past, I would say, first of all, we need your support, your prayers, your thoughts. We need you to look with open eyes around the community and to become involved as a volunteer. Right now, I can't really say, I could say, look, yes, keep those eyes open, your eyes are above that mask. Look at your community, look not only out your doorstep for your community, but as you have the opportunity in a safe, socially distanced way to travel through our community, look at it with open eyes and see the need that exists, because that'll convince you enough. Secondly, I can't ask you to come out and volunteer in the normal ways. There are volunteers we're using online, and certainly if you have skills and talents that you think can be employed through an online means, contact our community involvement. We're working and still figuring out how to involve more and more of our volunteers. We do want to involve you, but we have to do it in a socially distancing, safe manner and responsible. We don't want to contribute to the continuation of this COVID crisis. But we do need support, fiscal support more than anything. Last year, St. Nicholas Ball raised $200,000 plus to support the work of Catholic Charities. We need to do that again, even though we're not serving you a filet mignon, we're not serving you a choice of red or white wine, we're not providing entertainment after, we're not giving you an opportunity to dance. What we're giving you an opportunity to do, what the St. Nicholas Ball was all about, help your neighbor. It goes to deliver services. I mean, it maintains and runs Catholic Charities. It enables us to meet match money in some cases to bring down additional. We leverage it. So your dollar may bring down $5. Your $100 may bring down $400 more dollars, so $500. We're able to bring in more money to the community from federal sources or other sources. We leverage it and match it with private foundations that sometimes have those requirements. So the local community, we try to maximize that money. In turn, we try to put all the money to good work, whether it's helping in our Children's Learning Center to create a dynamic place where children learn and advance and develop healthy so they're ready to go into public schools. That is really what we're trying to do. We're trying to make be a connection in the community to really create that environment in our society. One thing we would want to do. I would really like to extend a thank you to each and every one of you who are participating tonight and who will give generously. You are enabling us to do so much in this community. In a traditional year, which 2020 has far from being, and we don't know how it will impact us, but we help over 17,000 individuals in the Archdiocese of Santa Fe. We extend your helping hand to them through our physical hands. And we are well aware of the relationship that we are doing the work that is in the passion and hearts of all of you when you donate to Catholic Charities. And I thank you for your generosity in the past, for tonight, and in the future, because what you are doing is a partnership to create a better community. There will be thousands of folks in our communities who will be thankful that you saw them not as something to pass by or quickly avert your eyes from, but someone, a neighbor. So remember, we take great care in spending your money wisely and to the benefit of all. With you tonight, we are forming a partnership. We are working together to make a better community in which we live.
Next, we'll hear from the Center for Educational Opportunity.
I'm Chris Degenhart, and I'm the director for the Center for Educational Opportunities and Career Pathways at Catholic Charities in Albuquerque. So the Center for Educational Opportunity provides adult education classes towards the high school equivalency for adults who were precariously educated in other countries or even in this country. We offer classes in Spanish and in English. We also have 5 levels of ESL. We also have a couple of classes in English for special purposes, as well as classes in citizenship. And we're gearing up to start a whole career pathways division working with our Caterpillar simulator in heavy equipment operation and masonry and concrete work. Before COVID, we had classes in person, and we had been working with the New Mexico Roofing Contractors Association. And in that particular cohort of students, we were doing distance learning. The Contractors Association had provided them with laptops, and we had provided the instructor, and we're using an iBest model. So we were providing vocational as well as academic instruction to supplement the modules that they need to graduate from in order to get their apprenticeship certificate from the state of New Mexico. So when COVID happened, we took that model and we made it program wide, and we went completely online within 24 hours. And because we had used Google Classroom as our management system, we were in the building that morning and we were online that night at 6 o'clock. And we started on the 16th with approximately 225 students, and we ended the semester retaining 185. Teachers really worked hard at keeping students engaged. That was the biggest and most important thing. And we actually had students who had dropped out of the program 2 and 3 years prior who came back because we were online. Catholic Charities did a laptop distribution for students and distributed over 100 laptops so that students would have the best appliance that they could utilize for direct instruction. And it's really improved retention and engagement with students. I can't begin to tell you how many times I heard from teachers during the distribution that they felt like Santa Claus, giving out computers to students, and the students are so grateful. And in the midst of all of this, we've had several different graduates from high set, and we've had several folks who are ready to take the citizenship test. So, progress never stops, and I always tell the teachers, I always say that every single solitary one of you is a civil rights leader, and every single solitary one of our classrooms is a civil rights movement, because at a time right now where every one of our students' lives matters, and it's just so important that we keep them engaged and as retained as we possibly can, and it's working. I think one of the big things that would be most helpful is looking at subscriptions for Wi-Fi for people in order to be able to increase access. I think that that's one of the most fundamental things. We can supply the best appliance, but if they don't have a hotspot or anything to be able to link that to, and they can't afford it, they're literally making choices between continuing their education and feeding their children. And so, and we've seen that so many times. And so I think that would be one of the biggest things right now, especially, and most practical.
My name is CELIA YAPITA. I'm the Chief Program Officer. So I was really impressed with how well our whole team came together in trying to make some really quick, very hard decisions. Our amazing program coordinator, Sarah AZIBO, and our team of bilingual community liaisons learned how to Zoom really fast. They learned how to communicate to our clients in different ways really quickly. And so I think that one big thing has been that we really intend to always have a virtual component going forward. We know that some of our folks actually accessed this better. Do so much virtually, I think also made us realize how, once again, because we realize this again and again, how resilient and smart and the ability to learn of our refugee families. All of our case managers continue to show every day how much they care for our clients, how they're trying to think through solutions. And then on the added layer of how do we do that in a way that's socially distanced. There's definitely people in this country who will be suffering now for a long time due to the economic effects of COVID and everything like that. So I think just kind of trying to see where is this headed for that community? Will we see more folks who are experiencing homelessness? Will we see more folks who it takes them longer to find a job because there's fewer jobs? So I think that the housing department just kind of trying to predict that, trying to be ready for it, and also as a department trying to see are there other funding sources that we can take on and expand a little more, because there will be a need to support the community.
Now let's check in with the Center for Refugee Support.
I'm Sarah AZIBO, the program coordinator with the Center for Refugee Support. We were hosting programs at Van Buren Middle School and Sandia High School, and we're just about to start at Del Norte High School when COVID hit and the schools closed, and we figured out ways to continue to keep families engaged. The isolation has been really hard and difficult for our families. The majority of these cultures are more communal than most Americans, so they are accustomed to just, gathering at each other's homes, having large gatherings, and when COVID hit, that's kind of off limits. So one way we tried to bring them back together was through virtual Zoom social gatherings, and we now have Breaking Bread Adventures where we try to bring all the families together to interact socially and just see each other while staying safe. I think we found a lot of silver linings through our programs. In person, we were pretty limited to how many students we could serve and where we could serve, and not just the youth, but also the adults, because for the adults, transportation and childcare were the main barriers for their participation in our programs. Now that we're holding all of our programs virtually, we can support students from any school through our Learning Partners peer tutoring program or International Club After School or the Girl Power. All the girls from around the city could join. So we have, that's expanded the possibilities to reach more students. We've developed a World of Wellness project to address the mental health needs of youth as well as the parents. We have a speaker series where we'll have a mental health professional come and talk to our families about parenting through the pandemic, to give them tools, because trying to manage your children's online schooling when it's being provided in a language not your own is immensely challenging. I mean, from the feedback that I'm hearing from the families, they're always very grateful for all the opportunities that are provided. They're always interested and wanting to participate. So I think they do see the value. So we always need volunteers if you're interested in, providing support to a student. You don't need to be an expert in physics or chemistry or anything, but just the willingness to provide some time to a child is a great gift. We also, we always need funding. We are working on trying to secure computers for every family. Right now, many of the computers that they're using are on loan, and the schools can reclaim them at any time. So we encountered that challenge over the summer, and it's hard to have the families so connected and then have them lose their device so that they can't participate in our programs. So our goal is for them to learn to earn, and we provide the education through our computer classes, and then after they complete a class, then they can earn a Chromebook or a laptop. Welcoming all these families into the community, embracing everybody, and really seeing everyone for the strengths that they bring.
Next up is the Center for Community Involvement.
I'm Kathy Fries, and I'm the Director for Community Involvement. We have a lot of seniors in this program. We have over 300 seniors in the program who could get rides. But right away, we could query through our database and find out there was about 30 of them who had no family here in Albuquerque. And so we were giving them rides to grocery stores to buy food. So here they are alone in Albuquerque with no way to get to the grocery store. And a lot of our seniors aren't tech savvy. They don't know how to order online and do all these things. And again, we combined our in-kind donation center. We made 30 emergency food boxes with toilet paper and hand sanitizer and soap. And then Kathy Aragón MARQUEZ stepped up with her volunteers, and we had volunteers drive the emergency food boxes to the seniors that we saw had the most immediate need. The Mobile Food Pantry is a wonderful collaboration. We just are about to celebrate our 6th year, when that's with St. Vincent de Paul. It's out of St. Francis Xavier, but it's St. Vincent de Paul and their volunteers that we coordinate with. And boy, has that changed with COVID. So again, safety being first, we've changed. The clients and families no longer come into the hall. There's a line of cars that wrap around the church and through the neighborhood. And so Roadrunner will bring the truck and volunteers will help to unload the truck, but we all stay masked and 6 feet apart. And the number has grown. We would do typically before March about 100 families, and now we're close to 200 boxes that we create. Some of them are delivered, but most of them are through families coming to the church and getting the food boxes. Just to be grateful for our health, for the continuation of our programs that we couldn't do without funders, without donors, without prayer, without volunteers, without our great staff. I mean, I'm so grateful for, our truck drivers that show up. I'm grateful for our staff that returns all those phone calls that we get every day. Even if we don't have the answer, we always try to find a resource. I think that's really important, that we adapt to the needs in our community, that we are in system to do it, and that we engage others to do this good work. Over at Officina is our in-kind donation center, and that's where we house all of the furniture, and we have a food pantry and a full kitchen and everything, hygiene products, everything you will need to set up an apartment. And so when COVID hit, that also meant that our donations coming in was at a complete stop. It slowed down definitely at the beginning, but then we saw the need in May and in June that we had some homeless families that really needed setups. Again, we created processes for safety and for screening, and we started receiving just a few donations at a time. So instead of gifts for each child, we were asking for a gift card for each child and a gift card for the family. And so these will be families in the Center for Self-Sufficiency and Housing, and the families through our Center for Refugee Support. But we're talking about, last year it was 400 kids. So it's a lot, And every parish I contacted so far have stepped up. We find the resources, we find the volunteers, we step up to serve the most vulnerable. And now we have COVID. So as an agency, we're gonna be able, to respond. Be creative in our funding, be creative in be good stewards in how we spend our money. But in the end, we're gonna be able to help so many because we were able to respond to the most vulnerable. So I just want to stop and be thankful for all who support the Center for Community Involvement. We couldn't do our work without your help, and especially for supporting the St. Nicholas Virtual Gala.
My name is Catherine Aragón Marquez. I am the Program Coordinator for Senior Transportation Services, as well as the Agency Volunteer Developer. Senior Transportation Services has a long history, since 1989. It is a grassroots service that is for individuals who are 60 and over and are ambulatory and hopefully can list some emergency contacts. It has always been a little engine that could uphill climb for us because it is volunteer based. But we provide about 100, we've gone anywhere from 40 in its inception up to almost 200 rides per month. Well, we do take folks grocery shopping, and some of them will take to Echo or the storehouse for food boxes. And people just kind of panicked and didn't want to leave their house. And again, our drivers were not available. And then we heard of a National Council on Aging. They were providing food boxes for seniors. So we rallied some of the drivers that were not driving but were willing to go pick up a box and deliver it to the senior. During almost the beginning of the COVID, there was this lady who called us that was just starting her cancer treatment. She was going to undergo 12 weeks of chemotherapy, radiation, and she needed to be there every Friday. And this is at 8 o'clock appointment, and then to be picked up about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we gathered some drivers together that to this day are still providing the service for her. One driver will pick her up about 7 o'clock in the morning, drop her off at her appointment, and another driver will be assigned to pick her up. This service, as I said, it's very grassroots. It's volunteer-based. We get small grants. We get donations from our riders. The service is free. Our riders send whatever they can, but it's not required for the service. So donations, of course, monetary donations are helpful, but above all, it's, adopt a rider. I would love to get more folks on board so that we don't exhaust the few that we have on board at this time. We have some drivers that will drive 10, 15 times. I love all that Catholic Charities does, and I learned when I started 20 years ago that it's not just about Catholics. I came in wearing my Catholic hat because that little word stood out to me when I was wondering what I was going to do next in my life. And I quickly learned that it encompasses all faiths, all groups, in every center that you see, you see your heart at work there. And in my case, because I was raised by grandparents, seniors are my passion. I like to advocate for them and just banter with them.
Now might be a good time to do a couple of things. First, I'd like to introduce you to Sandy Stewart, this year's St. Nicholas Gala Chair. Sandy, along with volunteers Joe Gamble, Katie Babuska, and the development staff at Catholic Charities, Kylie Euthys, Elizabeth Loya, Cara Arnold, and Dolores Nunez, have worked hard to put on this virtual gala, something none of us has ever done before. Thank you again to our sponsors and table captains who have generously helped produce tonight's gala and ensure that all money raised will go to the programs and services of Catholic Charities. Speaking of all the money raised, our table captains have been busy raising funds at their tables, and we're excited to show you the leaderboard. Next, I'd like to turn it over to Sandy to give us a leaderboard update.
Thank you, Mary. Wow, it's really incredible to see how many lives are impacted by the work of Catholic Charities and how creative our programs have been in adapting to COVID. I'd like to take a moment now to give you an update on our table captain fundraising leaderboard. It looks like Jim Gannon's table is currently in the lead with more than 100% of their fundraising goal already met. Now let's see if the other teams can match that. I also wanted to take a moment to remind you of the over 60 fabulous items that we have in our online auction. It's open for bidding right now. Simply head over to our website, www.ccasfnm.org/SNB, and click on the online auction button on the St. Nicholas Virtual Gala homepage. The auction seems to be heating up, so head over and get your bid-ins while you can. And by the way, the auction will be open until Monday at noon. Through sponsorships and early donations, we started this evening at about $75,000, which is about 50% of our $150,000 fundraising goal. We are so grateful for every dollar you have given and are giving to support the programs and services of Catholic Charities. Now let's hear from a few more of our centers.
Let's see what the Center for Immigration and Citizenship Legal Assistance has been up to this year.
My name is Jared Weatherholtz. I am the director of our Immigration Center. So I supervise several teams that work with the immigrant community. At this point, it's mostly legal teams that are helping with legal aid for different stages of the immigration process. So our Immigration Center is made up of two main branches. One of them is CELIA, the Center for Immigration and Citizenship Legal Assistance. It's a mouthful. And that service basically provides kind of general legal aid to immigrants who are adjusting status or applying for status. So we do things like green card applications and renewals, naturalization adjustments to become a citizen, DACA renewals. So that they're very important services to the community, and they're sort of these specific areas, but I would consider it to be kind of general immigration law. And we have 3 accredited reps. They're called DOJ, Department of Justice accredited reps. So they're trained to do those specific things really well. Well, I would say the biggest needs that I see in the community are basic needs. So keeping people housed, so rental assistance, keeping people fed, and helping people keep their utilities turned on. Going with that, I would say mental health is a huge need, mental health resources. In general, people who immigrate here, they've generally lived really hard experiences, whether that be in their home country and town, whether that be along the journey or once they've gotten here. And so mental health services, in my mind, are of the first importance there. You know, right behind keeping people housed and fed and healthy. I think that we have kept our services afloat, and it's really the team members themselves that have been the people that are working the hardest at that. Thank you so much for supporting the programs and services of Catholic Charities.
Now let's hear from the Center for Self-Sufficiency and Housing Assistance.
My name is James Walker. I'm Associate Director for the Center for Self-Sufficiency and Housing Assistance. It's really meeting a family where they're at and helping them with getting into housing. It's helping a family to restabilize their lives, and that looks different to every family. It could be going back to school. It is definitely about getting the benefits they're entitled to help support them. For example, food stamps, or SNAP as it's really called, or TANF, which is financial need to families that are in need. So it helps them with some expenses to try to feed their children and to get them clothes and get them into school. Everything changed. And when things change, you go with it because that's what we're used to doing. But I think the adjustment itself has been very challenging. It's illuminated some things about myself, about our team, about the world. It made us, I think, slow down in a lot of ways. Well, I think we've always consistently emphasized the dignity of the family, the individual. But I think the real meaning of that has come out. But a deeper value would be empathy, listening, being able to listen to somebody, be able to hear them, being able to see them. Continue to grow in the spirit that the team has really grown in accepting people where they are. Each day we are like students, everybody on the team looks at it that way, that we'll probably encounter something or some situation that's going to teach us something. I think we talk about how family is really important, and however that is to you and however you create family, we've learned the importance of relationship. It all works together. It's not each center working separately. We all depend on each other. I don't feel there's any separation between what I believe and what I do for a living. It's not a 9-to-5 job. It's something that I can do with my whole heart. I love this organization. And the people that support us, it just gives meaning to life.
Let's hear from our Santa Fe office, which offers both legal assistance and our Partnering for Seniors program.
Jenny Bejarano, and I'm a DOJ, Department of Justice, accredited representative for the CELIA department. So we assist families with immigration processes. So we provide low-cost immigration legal services like the Albuquerque CELIA department, but we serve Santa Fe North, so northern New Mexico, although I do have clients all the way down, in Valencia County, that far south. So before we were having people coming in, we accepted walk-ins and then call-in scheduled appointments. So our door was always open to walk-ins 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. Now, of course, we don't have any walk-ins. And the office is actually closed completely to clients. So everything we're doing is by mail, phone, or electronic. So whereas something may have taken a couple of hours to do, the person came in, we filled out the forms, and we were done. Now it can take days. In conjunction with the pandemic, there's also been a lot of immigration changes, or there have been a lot of immigration changes. A lot of executive orders have been signed this year that relate to immigration. People are now scared or nervous about applying, and also fees have gone up. So it's gotten harder because of the pandemic, but also because of immigration changes this year. We've continued, we've never stopped, so we did not close the office at all. We did have to kind of slow things down as we figured out our groove in a completely virtual, in no person-to-person contact world. But definitely we still do intakes. I'm still able to advise clients and perform consultations via video chat or phone. And then we have had quite a few clients apply. I've had several clients apply for residence that in those cases have been approved. Many of them are still pending, but people still continue to apply for like citizenship and renewal green cards. So we're still able to help. I love my job. I love this job. I love working with the clients that I love, that I work with. I love this population. That's just the neatest feeling is, finishing a case and knowing that this person is able to, maybe fulfill dreams that they've been thinking about for many, many years. So I really like the population that we work with.
My name is SHAELYN KLAUS, and I am the program coordinator of Partnering for Seniors in Santa Fe. Partnering for Seniors is a senior transportation program here in Santa Fe that serves low-income seniors that are in need of transportation to and from their medical appointments. We have partnered with several of the senior agencies and hospitals and clinics here in Santa Fe in order to meet their needs for their seniors that are unable to get to and from medical appointments and surgeries. We also serve seniors that need help getting to the grocery store so that they can get food for the week and remain independent in the community. Starting the job during the COVID-19 pandemic was a bit of a challenge. I came into the program after they had already established some of the partnerships, and people in Santa Fe were really eager to get the program started because they saw it as a great need for the senior community here. However, one of the first major steps for the program was getting volunteers on board, and typically the volunteers within Catholic Charities are already seniors themselves. So naturally that caused a lot of problems, as a lot of the seniors they weren't really comfortable. I myself was having to do several of the rides to kind of start meeting the needs of our partners that we had established here so that we didn't leave them hanging in any way. But over the last couple of months, we have had several brave volunteers stand up and begin working with us. My goals right now for the program are just to establish a greater volunteer base and to get really comfortable with the process of giving rides and kind of what that looks like and how to best kind of keep that organized and structured. I think Catholic Charities brings just by nature of what we do, helping those most in need and those most vulnerable in our community. I think also Catholic Charities has a way of really trying to seek out what the greatest need is, rather than just offering something because we can. We really try to to fill the gaps wherever there are gaps. And I think that the Santa Fe community really appreciates that.
Now we'll check in with our Children's Learning Center.
My name is Melissa BOJORQUEZ, and I am the Program Director at the Children's Learning Center. Woo, March of 2020, everything was going good. And all of a sudden, it was just so crazy. Our center was full of children. I think we had 111 children. And from one day to the next, it was literally 6 kids. We try to make it as fun for them. We do have a lesson plan, but honestly, that lesson plan at that moment was out the window. So we really took that time to have one-on-one with them and give them all that attention that sometimes they don't get at home. I think they are more stressful and worried. So they need that feeling of my kids are safe. And I think I have tried to meet those needs by all the safety protocols that we have to follow, our policies. They've adapted surprisingly well. Little kids, they will surprise you. And they're so cute though. I don't know. I guess seeing them, it saddens me, but I'm just like, they just adapt so well. And they surprise me every day. We got a New Mexico pre-K. So that was a huge accomplishment for us. Word of mouth really speaks volumes of the center. We provide such good care. We're very clean. We are bilingual, we love our children like if they were our own children. So I think that we just provide that quality care that a parent wants. Our children are our most prized possession. I love my children, and all the children down there are my children, I guess. That's how I feel. Catholic Charities, they care about their employees. And I feel like they care. Like when I gave birth to my daughter, I just feel like everyone reached out, and I mean, they don't need to, but they do because they do care.
Up next is our new subsidiary organization, Catholic Charities Affordable Housing.
My name is Adam Saber. I am the Executive Vice President and Chief of Operation Officer for CC Housing. So I do the coordination of the application to get the fund resources necessary to build affordable housing projects throughout New Mexico. We engaged in affordable housing in 2015. So we consider ourselves like new players in the affordable housing market. Our first project was a response to an RFP issued by the City of Albuquerque, the project called Generations at West Mesa. It's 54 units dedicated to serve seniors with focus on grandparents raising grandchildren. We are so proud and so happy about that project, and currently it's 100% occupancy. And yes, the property manager told me that they are building a waiting list. Yep. So, as you know that, housing is a basic need for everyone. Whatever you are struggling from, whatever problems you have, housing will be the first step to solve those problems. You have health issues, you need to be housed and then taking care of you. You have financial issues, to be able to improve your skills. You need a roof to protect you, to start building your qualifications, to get us the degree, to do anything, and to feel safe and secure in this world, you need a housing. So I believe we need more understanding to each other. We need to consider each other's needs. It's not that I am fine and I'm doing well financially, just to forget the others' needs. We are human. We need to help each other. When we are building affordable housing projects, we are partnering with for-profit developers. They are leading the process. Our main contribution to the affordable housing is to support the tenants when they occupy the units. So within our tax credit applications, CC Housing commit to provide supportive and enrichment services to the tenants. Educational training, job training, computer training, financial literacy, health nutrition classes. Sometimes it's different from a project to project, so we commit a bundle of services to the investors, the funders of those projects. So when our donors are supporting Catholic charities, they are supporting CC Housing. By helping each other, we are contributing to the success of each other.
Let's hear from some of our other board members.
Hello and welcome to this year's St. Nicholas Gala. My name is Don KAWAL. I've been on the board for 2 years. A lot of things have been happening at Catholic Charities. Our staff case managers have been helping people individually find housing, budget, and job placement. Our volunteers at the donation center provide furnishings for apartments. And we have other volunteers that transport seniors for medical appointments. We have a lot going on in instruction and for both adults and children, as well as an apprenticeship program for roofers. But the needs still continue. I hope we can count on you for your contributions. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Guy Berger, member of Catholic Charities Board. I just wanted to say a few things to you this evening about how being on the board has opened my eyes to the tremendous need in our community. I think we all live in our own little bubbles a lot of the times, from where we live to the routines we have, and we just don't see the tremendous need. And I've learned so much about the great work that Catholic Charities does, from housing assistance, education for both children and adults, job training assistance, and basic things like setting up someone's house with a couch and a bed. And then also other basic things like just food. People are in need and they're hungry, and we don't even realize it. So being on the board has really taught me a lot more about our community, and I love learning and serving and trying to help more of these people, as many as we can. So tonight, we hope you're generous and can contribute, buy things at auction, or just out of generousness of your heart, give us a few bucks and help us help those in our community that need it most. Thank you.
My name is Tom Kelleher. I've been on the board 5 years. Catholic Charities is devoted to helping people in need of any and all religions, or for that matter, no religion. And I believe in the teachings of Christ and the Sermon on the Mount, and trying to help people that need help. I believe that the work that Catholic Charities does helps improve the lives of people that need help, and it also helps improve the community in which we live. So I would ask people, to the extent they're able to be generous, to be generous. Thank you.
Next, we are going to have you hear from the staff of Catholic Charities. This is the front line. These are the faces of Catholic Charities, and the first faces who greet those we serve.
My own personal approach to life is it's important to be serviceable. So working for a nonprofit like Catholic Charities, it's always been rewarding to me.
I remember being a child and my mom going in Carlsbad, New Mexico to get some help, which she was denied. And I said to myself, you know what, when I grow up, I'm gonna be in that office. I'm gonna help as many people as I possibly can.
I've worked nonprofits for many years. The fact that I've been here 11, almost 12 years, that should tell you something.
I am so grateful to Catholic Charities for giving me the opportunity to teach online. And it showed that in order for us to help, we have to be healthy. And if our cup is full, we can help others.
You know, I'm just amazed. We have a very caring staff here. I think the families that we serve in our state are just wonderful families. And growing up with a single mother, knowing how hard it was, you know, that's always been my passion. And I think also just falling in love with refugees, you know, it's beautiful and it's wonderful to work with families. That's why this has turned into 21 years.
A lot of our students are mothers and fathers, they're caretakers, they're providers. So even in this world we're living in and everything is done online, there are places that still have limited access. So Catholic Charities was able to provide students with laptops. It's allowing us to assist students in gaining those computer skills, digital literacy, and basic communication skills, right? So giving the students access to that is very important.
I think our clients, I mean, they know that they can call us if there's an emergency. We had this one lady who recently moved into an apartment. She has a hip problem. So we were very fortunate to have someone build her a ramp. It's those little details that we don't know that when our clients request them, it's like, of course we can do that. If this is gonna make your life easier, absolutely.
I have many students who didn't have the opportunity to study in their home countries. So now they're here in the United States, some of them becoming citizens, some of them learning English, some of them getting a high school equivalency. And I think that's a source of pride for a lot of our students.
I have gotten calls from someone who will tell me, you know, years and years and years ago, your case manager, and they'll name them, helped my mother. And I needed help now, and they were able to help me. We are so grateful.
I think that Catholic Charities really lives by the mission, providing that dignity for their employees, for the students, and for the community in general, the people that we serve.
I don't know, I couldn't work in a place that we didn't see results. We aim for bettering one person's life at a time.
So I think doing the curbside and just making sure that they had food, making sure that if they had doctor's appointments, going to UNM, sitting there with them for, you know, up to 2 or 3 hours until they get that assessment. That's been really different because we want to be there with our clients. So we know that we are delivering the best service that we possibly can at this time. That's why I really believe that our clients know that we are dedicated to them.
Thank you so much for being with us here tonight to celebrate the work we have done over the past year. We're broadcasting to you live from Generations at West Mesa, our affordable housing development for grandparents raising their grandchildren in the West Mesa area of Albuquerque. Through changing circumstances and unforeseen challenges, we at Catholic Charities have done our best to make sure we continue to meet the most urgent needs in our community. As you have seen tonight, we have worked hard over the past month to tailor each of our programs to meet the specific needs of the populations we serve, while keeping our staff and community as safe as possible. We hope that tonight has given you a chance to celebrate with us some of the successes that we've had during these difficult months, and that we have been able to recreate some of the magic of our in-person St. Nicholas Ball this evening. We pray that next year we may be able to meet in person again. I would like to thank all our staff for sharing their stories with us tonight, as well as their hard work throughout the year. I would also be remiss in not again thanking our sponsors including presenting sponsor, Our Lady of the Annunciation Catholic Church, frankincense sponsor, Risen Savior Catholic Community, and myrrh sponsors, Chelsea Investment Corporation and Presbyterian Healthcare.
Good evening, I'm Dolores Nunez, the Chief Administrative Officer for Catholic Charities. As you've learned this evening, we're working diligently every day to expand our capacity to meet the evolving needs of our community and those we serve. In the year to come, there will continue to be many challenges we're facing in our community. The needs, as you've learned, are even greater than before in Albuquerque and in Santa Fe, and we can't meet them without your support. I ask you now, for this final time tonight, to give generously in the holiday spirit of Christ. This is a special call out to anyone who was outbid at the online auction. If you came tonight to support the programs and services of Catholic Charities, but didn't walk away with something, here's how you can make an impact in our community. If you'll open up your chat box by clicking the speech bubble at the bottom of your screen, your Zoom screen, you can make a commitment now. I've seen lots of chat this evening, so I think y'all know how to do that. $5,000 can provide a year of internet access for 10 of our families, allowing parents to access services safely from home and helping children to have uninterrupted access to online learning. Is there anyone in our audience tonight who can commit to contributing $5,000 to the programs and services of Catholic Charities this evening? If that's you, please type your full name and 5K in the chat box to make your commitment now.
$3,000 can fund a child in our Children's Learning Center for 1 year, where they have access to high quality instruction, delicious and healthy meals, and a safe and beautiful place to learn and grow. If you can make a $3,000 commitment, please type your full name and 3K in the chat now.
Well, I think we're getting to the more manageable amounts now. For $1,000, you can help us secure healthy food and help make it a Merry Christmas for 10 families in need of this holiday season through our mobile food pantry drive-through distribution. If you can make a $1,000 commitment, I see one so far, please type your full name and $1,000 in the chat window now. I would like to thank Katie Babushka for her $1,000 pledge in this particular part. Katie, thank you so much. We appreciate you more than you'll ever know.
$500 can buy gas for a year for 50 senior transportation services volunteer drivers who provide free life-saving medical transportation to seniors living on their own. You can make a $500 commitment. Please type your full name and 500 in the chat now. Thanks.
We would like to thank the Nava family, Ralph and Winona, for their $500 contribution. And Julia Urquhart is catching up here. Julia, thank you so much for your $1,000 contribution. We'd also like to thank Lori Beverly for her $500 contribution tonight.
Plus, we have heard from, with $500 commitments, Marla Kalk and Rosemary Gannon. Thank you all.
Donating just $100 helps us ensure that the programs and services of Catholic Charities leave nobody behind this year and secures our plan to continue providing evolving needs-driven services to our community for the year to come. Can you make a commitment to donate $100 to support Catholic Charities? If so, please type in your full name and $100 in the chat window now. Well, while we're waiting for those $100 paddle raises, if you will, to come in, I'm seeing that Eddie Fernandez and his family made a $500 contribution. Thank you, Eddie and Trish. And also, Eddie and Alice Gallegos just made a $500 contribution as well, and we thank you so very much for that. I'm looking at John Bizek, a $200 contribution. Maureen Kelleher Kelly, thank you so much for your $100 contribution.
And during the evening, we've also gotten $100 donations from Stuart Prager, Sarah Azibo, Bob Bruick, Lisa Robertson, and Maureen Kelleher.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Also, thank you to Jeff and Kathy Fries tonight, and Jack and Linda Conrad for your contributions, $100 and $200 respectively. Thank you so much. I think we could go on all night, and if you keep adding to the chat window, we will announce as much as we can, but I'm going to move on now. We receive your gifts with deep gratitude that you have chosen to become a partner in our work. Every dollar you give is especially impactful during these challenging times, and we work hard to be good stewards of your money in our community. If you were unable to commit to a donation tonight, but would still like to give a different amount at a different time, please visit our website, www.ccasfnm.org/SNB. It's right on your screen, to make a tax-deductible donation anytime you'd like. Don't forget, though, to talk to your tax advisor about how donations in 2020 can help us and help you. Those of you who have made commitments tonight can find the link to our donation page in the chat. Please email us or call us if you have any questions or concerns about our event or online auction. Our auction will close on Monday, so get your bids in now. Now, before I hand it off to Jim, I would like to take a minute to thank our communications manager, Kylie Euthus, who confidently said we could do this. Put on a virtual gala, something we've never done before. So Kylie, we would like to thank you. This was not planned, and I'm sure she's not comfortable, but we would like to thank you for your prowess in doing this.
Thank you.
Kylie has done a fabulous job tonight and has just given me an update. I mean, there's a lot of more numbers that are rolling in. Archbishop John Wester, $100. Thank you, Archbishop.
Yeah.
Beth Chazvaz, and I saw $1,000 from Chris Coffee, and I can't, now they're rolling the numbers on me. Walt Wotos and Chris Coffee, $1,000, and so many more people. Tim Ashby and CELIA YAPITA, yes. $100. Thank you all so much for responding. The internet can't keep up with you, so please don't stop. So the number I'm giving you is a little outdated already. I feel like the election, holding on to whether Michigan is blue or red at the moment. But I'm excited to announce we're currently at 98% of our fundraising goal, with $149,000 met for programs to support our, excuse me, I'm so excited, I'm getting messed up on my report here, but committed to support the programs and services at Catholic Charities. Again, I would like to thank you all for joining us for the St. Nicholas Virtual Gala this evening. We are so grateful to be able to rely on community members like you who support us each year in pursuing new ways to address the challenges emerging in the Archdiocese of Santa Fe, including its large cities of Albuquerque and Santa Fe. For now, we wish you a good evening and Merry Christmas, and thank you all and a good night. And remember, the auction is still open till Monday.
Yes.
So keep bidding and keep sending in the contributions.
Thank you.
Thank you all for your generous donations this evening and all the work that everyone put into this, including Dolores, And of course, Sandy, come in one more time, and Kylie, and Austin. I don't know if you could come over from the control booth or not, but Austin is behind here keeping everything going technically. So I am just so thankful and very thankful to all of you this evening for what you've done. And thank you for your support, and we don't take it for granted.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was awesome stuff.
You want to unmute?
That's what it says.
We have a few people unmuted, so if you'd like to say hi, you're welcome to. So,
Well, it was a good program.
You don't have to yell.
I'm trying to give everyone the opportunity.
So many. Thank you so much.
Here I am.
Really nice job.
Wonderful job.
You can be there.
Yeah, you made it really easy for those of us living in Boston to attend. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a piece of work. Constantly interrupt me.
Great job, Jim, and everybody. My heart is warm tonight.
Way to go, Daniel. And thank you, kids, for participating. Those of you who might still be on.
Thank you all for joining us. It was a wonderful event. Thank you, Kylie, Jim, Dolores, Sandy, Austin, everyone at headquarters.
Thanks so much for coming, everyone.
Thank you
Hi,
all.
Dad. Hi, Mom.